Okay, what's going on, guys? So, excuse me, today we're going to ping these 4 sites, do lab 3.2. So, you can see I pinged hola.hp. Now, this host is not reachable. I believe that this is because this is a URL error. I know that the site URL or holahp.com does indeed work, so maybe that's because that is a URL error. Amazon pings easily, WikiLeaks pings easily. Now Kremlin is another one that does not ping, but not due to a URL error. This is actually the a Russian site, so I'm guessing that their firewall blocks us from being able to ping them, because I am able to get to that URL okay and access a website that is in Russian. And then we're going to ping the Google DNS server down here, which is 8.8.8.8. That pings as well pretty easily. Okay, so moving on to part 2, we're going to look at the traceroute. We're going to look at the traceroute of kremlin.ru. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Okay, here we're tracerouting kremlin.edu. So you can see it ends up timing out. This is where I believe that it is pinging off different routers, so it is making a connection, and then the request times out. So I'm guessing that that's hitting their firewall. You can see that it is still running, but it will end up maxing out at 30 and just say request timed out. So this is an issue. So we can't necessarily trace route the whole thing, but you can see that it is finding specific routers. The HG6 box is myself, and then it pings to my ISP, which is the 142.254.216.189. Then it continues to ping down a couple of other routers. I believe that these 24.58.3, those 3 right there, 3, 4, and 5 are off my ISP as well, just because usually it does ping, or it does hit your ISP, translates it into like 10.0.0.0, for example. So I believe that those ones, the 24s, end up pinging as the same IP as myself. Okay, moving on to number 3. This one was kind of tough, where we're gonna trace route these different servers. So here I'm trace routing the Stanford one. So let me pull that one up right here. Whoops, that was the wrong one. Bear with me here. Okay, so here's the trace route from my ISP, or my IP, to the Stanford edu website. And then this is a trace route from Stanford back to me. So you can see that there are a couple of similar paths, but it indeed does take a different path. So I guess the point of the exercise is the trace routes do not take the same path. Now, I'm thinking that maybe because it is analyzing traffic to these servers, it's looking for a server, it thinks that that one's quicker, different speeds, that all come into play here to determine which path it is supposed to take. So there's example 1. If we get out of this, and here is the trace route for Princeton. So here it is. So you can see this only made it to about 5 of these, because this is my IP, then it hits my ISP. So it's making it through a couple where when we trace routed back from Princeton to my ISP, we were indeed able to make it all the way back. So I think that that's very, very interesting. They probably, being a university, they have some firewall put up that's supposed to that attempts to block us on the way there. But that being said, it does indeed take a different route anyways, for the same reasons that I think that it took a different route earlier, especially if their firewall is messing. I'm sure that my traceroute was attempting to get around it somehow, but it was not obviously able to. So yeah, that is everything, and thank you.